This is question 1 from the GATE 2017 session 1 WE paper. This question has to do with eigenvalues of a matrix A, and given that one of its distinct eigenvectors is 101, which of the following four can be an eigenvector of A? Underneath the question, you will find the title of the NPTEL course or video relevant to this topic. Now let's go into a bit of background. This is the definition of eigenvalue. Lambda is an eigenvalue of matrix A if there exists some vector, which is some non-zero vector V. That is, a zero vector is just a column of zeros there. So if even one element is non-zero, the vector is non-zero. There exists a non-zero vector V such that the action of multiplying matrix A with the vector V is the same as scaling V by lambda V, right? This is the definition of an eigenvalue of the matrix A. In this situation, we say that V is the eigenvector and lambda is the eigenvalue. So in general, when it comes to these eigenvector problems, it usually has to do, these 1 mark problems with eigenvectors, it usually has to do with identifying some sort of structure in the matrix that is provided. And the clue given for this problem is that 101 is an eigenvector of A, right? One of its eigenvectors is 101. So they are sort of hinting at us to look at the first and third columns, right? So like, what do we do with eigenvectors? We multiply, right? So this is V1. So what would happen if you were to multiply A with V1? So the multiplication action is 3 by 2, 0, half times the first element. So the first column. So it's basically first column into first element plus second column into second element plus third column into third element. That's the matrix vector multiplication operation. So what's happening here? Since there's a 0 in the middle, since the second element is a 0, this basically adds nothing. So the clue is for us to look at the first and third columns. And as you can see, the structure is one of permuted symmetry, right? The idea is that if I were to add 3 and half, it's the same as adding half and 3 by 2. 3 by 2 and half is the same as adding half and 3 by 2, right? So we focus on the options C and D, which act on the first and third columns, right? And if you take the option C, you will find that it subtracts the first and third column, right? So given that subtraction is also commutative, right? A minus B is the same, is commutative with a negative sign. A minus B is minus times B minus A, right? So what you will find is that this is, let's call this V2, right? A into V2 will be 3 by 2 minus half and 0 and half minus 3 by 2, right? This is just going to be 1, 0, minus 1, right? So A into V2, this is multiplication. A into V2 is just V2. So for lambda equal to 1 is an eigenvalue of A with eigenvector V2, right? And so the answer in this problem is C.